What if everything you know, your family, your life, this very moment is just a glitch, a random spark in an endless void? You're not real. You're a brain, alone in the darkness, and it's about to end right now. If you're still listening, maybe you're one of the lucky ones, or maybe this is your final illusion. My name is Dr. Elias Crow. I'm a physicist, or at least that's what my memories tell me. For years, I've been obsessed with the fundamental laws that govern our universe. It all started with a man named Ludwig Boltzmann back in the late 19th century. He was trying to make sense of entropy, the second law of thermodynamics, which states that disorder always increases over time. Picture a hot cup of coffee cooling down in a room. The heat spreads out, everything evens out into a bland equilibrium. That's entropy in action. Boltzmann pondered the big picture. If the universe is infinite and eternal, why isn't everything already in that state of maximum chaos? Why do we have order stars, planets, life? His answer was a statistical fluke. In an infinitely old universe, random fluctuations could occasionally decrease entropy locally, creating pockets of order out of the void. It's like shaking a box of puzzle pieces forever. Eventually, by sheer chance, they'd assemble into a perfect picture, even if just for a moment. But here's where it gets disturbing. Boltzmann realized that these fluctuations don't have to create entire universes or even solar system. The simplest, most probable fluctuation would be something small and isolated, like a single human brain, complete with neurons firing in patterns that simulate memories, senses, and consciousness. No body attached, no earth, no cosmos, just a brain popping into existence in the cold, empty expanse of a dead universe. We call these Boltzmann brains. Think about the probabilities forming a full, ordered universe like ours, with its 13.8 billion years of history, galaxies, and evolution. That requires an astronomically low entropy state, with odds so tiny they're practically zero. But a lone brain hallucinating that entire history, much simpler, much more likely. In fact, in an eternal multiverse governed by quantum mechanics and cosmic inflations theories, supported by modern physicists like Alan Guth and Sean Gakala, would be infinitely more Boltzmann brains than actual evolved beings. If the math holds, the chances that you or I are real people, products of billions of years of cosmic evolution, are vanishingly small compared to us being these fleeting, illusory brains. Power, perceptions, are sciences. Even this video could all be a brief, random configuration of particles destined to dissolve back into nothingness any second now. I didn't believe it at first. It sounded like philosophical nonsense, a thought experiment to poke holes in cosmology. But then I started digging deeper. I ran simulations on my computer, modeling quantum fluctuations in a vacuum state. I read papers from the likes of Roger Penrose, who argues that our universe's low entropy at the Big Bang might be explained by cycles of expansion. But even he acknowledges the Boltzmann brain problem as a paradox that haunts modern physics. It hit me personally one night last week. I was alone in my study, staring at old family photos. There's one of me as a kid, building sandcastles on the beach with my parents. I remember the salt in the air, the waves crashing. But what if that's not a memory? What if it's just a neural pattern, fabricated in an instant by chaotic particles? No beach, no parent-siver, just me, or whatever me is, floating in absolute zero, inventing a backstory to make sense of my brief existence. I started questioning everything. Why do I feel hunger? Is it a real body signaling, or just part of the illusion? I looked in the mirror and saw my reflection waver, not literally, but in my mind. What if this room, this house, is a construct? Modern cosmology suggests the universe will end in heat death, trillions of years from now, with all matter decayed into sparse photons. But in that vast emptiness, Boltzmann brains would keep emerging, each one living out phantom lives. Some might remember being dinosaurs, others gods. Most would be incoherent blobs of thought, but a few like us would have consistent, logical worlds. The horror deepened when I considered the implications for science itself. If I'm a Boltzmann brain, all my experiments, all the data from particle accelerators like the LHC are fake. Einstein's relativity, quantum field theory, they're just consistent hallucinations. And the kicker, a true Boltzmann brain wouldn't last long. The fluctuation is unstable. It'd dissipate in moments. So, if that's me, this monologue, this realization, the prelude to oblivion. But you're hearing this too. That means you're part of it. Maybe you're sitting there, scrolling through videos, thinking this is just creepy entertainment. Stop for a second. Feel the chair under you, the air on your skin. Real or simulated. The quantum many worlds interpretation, another pillar of physics, suggests infinite branches of reality. In most, entropy wins. In the dead ones, brains flicker to life. Yours could be one, mine too. We've been alive for what, minutes, seconds, and any moment the particles scatter. No pain, no warning, just gone. I tried to test it. I set up a simple experiment. Flip a coin 100 times. Record the results. If it's truly random, fine. But if I'm a brain, the coin is part of the illusion, biased toward whatever makes my fake world coherent. Heads, tails, heads. It all came out to patent. Or did I imagine that paranoia sets in? I called my wife ex-wife, actually. We divorced years ago, or so I recall. She didn't answer. Maybe she never existed. Maybe no one does. Philosophers call this solipsism, but Boltzmann makes it scientific. It's not just doubt, it's probability. The universe favors simplicity. A full civilization, too complex. One mind, just right. And in that mind, echoes of others, friends, lovers, enemies, old props in the play. You're my audience now, but are you real? Or am I imagining you, imagining me? It's unraveling. I can feel it. The edges of my vision blurring, thoughts fracturing. If the theories are right, and they are, backed by equations I could recite in my sleep, then this is it. No afterlife, no reincarnation. Just a pop in the void, one among quadrillions. But wait, if you're still here, listening, that means your fluctuation hasn't ended yet. We're synced in this delusion. Or maybe you're the real one, and I'm your nightmare. Prove me wrong. Go outside, touch the ground, scream at the sky. But deep down, you know the truth. We're all Boltzmann brains, adrift in eternity's trash heap. The flicker is fading. Goodbye, or whatever passes for it in nothingness. If you wake up tomorrow, remember this: it was never real.